I'm Anil Kumar, sharing with you my test paper on functions. Now we are at question number 6, so you'll expect slightly difficult questions now onwards. The question here is, graph f of x equal to 2 to the power of absolute x minus 2 minus 1. Determine intercepts and describe its characteristics. That's the question for you. You can always pause the video, answer the question, and look into my suggestions. Now this is a composite function where we have exponential function and the exponent is an absolute function. To sketch this, let's make a table of values. That should help, right? So we'll take the x values, we'll take absolute x minus 2 values, and then we will calculate the value for the function. So let's take the values for the x. Then we'll make it x minus 2 absolute, and then we'll calculate 2 to the power of x minus 2 absolute minus 1, correct? Now, what are good values for x to take? Since the absolute function is x minus 2, if I substitute 2 here, we get 2 to the power of 0. So that is a very critical value to take. And then we can take few values before this and then after this. So that's the concept, right? So let's start with the center value, which is 2. So let's write down 2 here for x. So absolute x minus 2 will be absolute 2 minus 2, which is 0. And since that exponent is 0, this will be 2 to the power of 0 minus 1. And anything to the power of 0 is 1, so 1 minus 1 is 0. Do you see that? Okay. Let's go to the right side. We'll take 3. So absolute value of 3 minus 2 will be 1. Here we'll get 2 to the power of 1 minus 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. If I take 4, I get 4 minus 2, which is 2. So 2 square minus 1 will give me 4 minus 1 as 3, right? So now onwards, we see an exponential function rising on the right side, right? So it's 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. 2 cube minus 1. 8 minus 1 is 7. Now let's go on left side of this. So we'll take a value 1. So absolute value of 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2 is minus 1, but absolute value is always positive. So if this is 1, then what we are going to get is 2 to the power of 1 minus 1, which is 1, right? Same as 3. If I take 0, then absolute value of 0 minus 2 will be 2. So we get 2 square minus 1, which is 3. And for minus 1, it will be minus 1 minus 2, which is 3 positive, right? So it is 2 cube minus 1, which is 8 minus 1, 7. Correct? So it's kind of, it has an even symmetry, but I shouldn't say even. It is symmetric about the x's. X equals to 2, right? It's symmetric about this value, x equals to 2. Now it's an exponential function, symmetric about x equals to 2. Let us sketch this function. What we observe here is that all values are positive, right? Okay, so let's say this is y-axis and we'll take x-axis like this. Now make a grid. So let's say this is 1 unit away, 2 units away, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we'll just go y-axis 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's draw some lines on minus 1, minus 2. Okay, that's fine. So now we have what we observe here is that we do have symmetry about x equals to 2. So it's symmetric about this value, x equals to 2. These dotted lines are not for vertical asymptote, right? Okay, and the points here are at 2 the value is 0, at 2 the value is 0, at 3 it is 1, at 3 it is 1, at 4 it is 3, so at 4 it is 1, 2, 3, and at 5 it is 7, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So you see it's kind of moving very fast upwards. And symmetric about this, so we can place these values right there, and at -1 it is 7. Do you see that? So those are the values, and since it's an exponential function, we'll kind of graph it like an exponential function, rapidly moving, increasing. Is it okay? On the right side, and it is actually kind of decreasing on the left side of 2. Right? So left side of 2. Now from here, when x is 0, we find this value is 3. So that is how we get the function f of x for different values of x. So that's the graph of the function, correct? Now from here, what characteristics can you write? Well, we can say domain. So let's write down the characteristics now. So first thing what you need to write is domain and range. X belongs to real numbers. Range is y belongs to real numbers, where y is greater than or equal to 0, as you can see, right? This function has, as x approaches negative infinity, y approaches positive infinity, and as x approaches positive infinity, y approaches positive infinity. So x moving upwards, right? Increasing interval is, let me write in interval notations, from 2 to infinity, and decreasing from minus infinity to 2, right? Now intercepts, we see y-intercept at y equals to 3, and x-intercept is at x equals to 2, correct? So these are few characteristics which you could write. You can see the graph moves from quadrant 2 to quadrant 1, correct? It is non-negative, you know, the range is greater than or equal to 0. So these are few characteristics which you can say about this function. I hope you've understood how to graph or understand a composite kind of a function as we have here. I'm Anil Kumar, and I hope that helps. If you like, you can put some like marks there. Feel free to share my videos and subscribe to them. Thank you and all the best.